Baby unboxing. Baby unboxing. Just because I want to open this stuff now, and if I wait, no, I can't unbox it now. I want it now. God, cut your hand open. You should probably cut away. Is that the rule? In the comments, please. Is it cut towards or cut away? I feel like cut away is bad because you could just like into little Jimmy's eye. And if you cut towards and you have like decent arm strength, you're like, oh, you should like stop. So we're gonna go with the cut towards methodology. This should be exactly what I think and know it is. Yeah. Periapt. What did you send me now? Wichita, Kansas. Read the instructions. We got a Type 2. I'm not sure if I'm sold on the way they label it, like Type 1, Type 2. But there's multiple headphones that certain types will fit, and you just got to go to their site and find out. So it's a Pro XLR for Type 2. Product was assembled by MM and then tested by NA HE350s with a Soundgarden's Black Hole Sun. I like that seal. For the price and the presentation, you can't knock Periapt cables. Yes, I got the Snake. And he apologized to me when he sent these. He said, I'm sorry, I couldn't get the raspberry scent on them in time. So eventually Periapt will not only be doing beautiful, well-made, structurally sound, amazing cables, they'll smell too. I said I prefer citrus. I like a nice, like, mandarin orange on my headphone cable. Interesting with the blue. So yeah, we've got like a snake texture, balanced to 2.5 millimeter. And I have like 9 of these now. So now I'm just, at some point, these may end up funding some of the actions and therefore going, what bitch? Yeah. And going on to the Patreon yard sales, which this month's coming to a close real soon. It's almost the 10th. Is it almost the 10th? I don't even know the date. But, keep this. Moo! This is definitely not for you, Chewbacca. Chewbacca, how you want to play with paper? She might play with the plastic. Yes. $5 a month gets you into the yard sale, which means you get to buy my, I want to say junk, but I've only really sold 1 or 2 items that are like, I didn't give a good review to. And at that point, I just want them out of the house. What's in here is a mass drop item, which I'm going to hand on heart. The fastest bid on the drop or agree to the drop with the lowest thing, drop finished. 4 days later, I get it like, hey, we shipped it. And I'm like, what? And then today is the day where it just arrived. So let's not look at that. Oh, ravioli, ravioli. Don't lose the lolly dragon made of explaining things. There you go. That does look like raviolis, though. That's a nice piece. Yeah, so here is the version 2. Probably use that for the items. Of the Zhiyun crane. 3-axis gimbal stabilizer for DSLR. Now, I don't actually own a DSLR. What I own is... Shush! Oh, I don't want to show my feet. I'll get all those M stalkers on me from the cooking channel. What I own instead of a DSLR is this motherfucking monstrosity. Oh, come on out. So here's the Hero 5 holder. There's the microphone. It's on a thing. It's for the tripod. It's all this stuff. And then combine it with the power 48 volt Saramonic, and all this shit. At some point, we'll make it onto this gimbal. And that will be done on stream, because if I need to take up 15 hours of streaming time, it's going to be modifying every part of this to be as small and light as possible to exist on a gimbal. Because even though I got a DSLR gimbal, this has to be modified. There's no way that the Super Lux microphones are going to be able to just like, oh, just throw them on. Just throw them on, because they're metal cased and I've analyzed the diagrams. They come apart. I'm gonna have to maybe even get like a 3D printed piece for it. It's gonna be great. It's going to be great. The point is, I'm going to be able to go places like I used to with my old Steadicam, only Hero 5 with the most rape microphones ever. And hopefully I don't pick up the sound of this gimbal running, which is one of the problems that my friend who does gimbals is like, you know, you're going to hear the motors. And I'm like, I hope not. Broke the seal. Broke the seal. So now... Yes. I love things that come in cases. Which one has a sticker on it? What does it say? Reviewed by O2. I hope O2 wasn't smoking crack the night before. I'll say this. As far as cases go, that's a nice one. It's not too bulky. It's a little soft. The user guide's a little bent. How much of this is Chinese? Dude, none of it. That's impressive. My only issue with something like this is that it still uses these. And I'm hoping that either I can modify this to just... Because here's a charger for them, which is just USB. And I'm hoping at some point I can modify it so that... I mean, according to what I've read, this is like 10 hours on one go, which is fine. I'm just hoping that I can, at some point, power everything with a battery pack on like a fanny pack and then have my pole, which will either be an extending or a fixed pole at this point where I could do my GoPro-y, microphone-y, gimbal-y things and have one giant power source. Just massive power source. I'll tell you what. As far as like anodized machined aluminum with texture, this is pretty fucking nice. So that's basically the bottom part of the handle where the batteries are going to go. This is a very nice flat baby cock ring, branded Zhiyun branded flat USB micro cable. I approve. I might use that somewhere else, although it's janky as shit. Let that stretch out with time. Chewbacca, did you just take a crap in my eyes? It sort of smells like that. What have we got in here? We've got... quarter 20s. Very, very light. Let me just play that. Very, very lightweight anodized aluminum quarter 20 screw-ins. You'll definitely strip those if you push them in too hard. Put those down. And then we've got the main unit, which is this whole assembly here, which I have no idea if I'm taking it out of the box correctly. That sort of sucked. Oh god. Oh god, everything's moving. That down, that down. We got something else here. Oh, that's the lens stay. Anything else? Fingering all these holes so they're nice and taken care of. I don't want to throw it. I don't want to throw it. Use one of my pillows so it looks nice. I just clean these pillows on stream. So we've got a beautiful little... It's actually just a 4-way. Dude, that's gonna be sick. That's going to be sick when it's up and running. That is that 3? I think, yeah, there's no, it's not like on my other gimbal, which, excuse me, Chewbacca. I'm going to get my gimbal here, baby boots. Here's my little baby GoPro gimbal, which does not work with the Hero 5. It only works with the 4 because it clamps in here. And there are exposed wires here and here that keep it from going past certain things, and this was supposed to plug in, and it works great. Look at this fucking beast, and I could be like, oh, down and oh, up. And I did some demos on this channel, I think, for it. And I love the concept. I took this to Japan. And I was doing like above the head shots, and then it's heavy enough. It's not heavy enough that I can't like do that. And here's where the controller was, and I could tilt and switch modes, and it was it was good, but this is old school Zeos. New school Zeos has a higher count on the Patreon, and he wants to make cooler videos for you guys. So let's move it up. So it's looking like we have infinitely spinning in all axes. Well, axes. So this is all brush. There's no wires. And then this is going to sit like that. You want me to turn it on? I kind of want to charge the battery before I turn it on. So I don't think you guys are getting that experience with me. Interesting. It's just, there's a contact for the battery, and it's just exposed circuit board. And, you know, just for this telephoto and wide, we could have changed modes. So when we do eventually get this together, you notice the quarter 20 on the bottom of this. So what I'm thinking of, so how much volts is this? What is your voltage? Cut my hand open first. You crack, peel away from the cluster, steam, and enjoy an old-fashioned Hickama-Dickables. 3.7 volts. So we're looking at 7+ volts. I'm wondering, it's gonna be a lot of draw though. I think moving this fast is gonna be a lot of draw, which is why these are the big batteries. Because if I could somehow get a pull, like take this instead of just a quarter 20 and then trying to put that on the end of a stick and hoping to God that that is strong enough to not snap off. Because I mean that weighs a bit, and if I'm gonna have expensive stuff on it, it's gonna weigh a bit. I wonder if I can find a place to have this machined so that I could just build the entire pole. It wouldn't have to be as long as my crazy one, but certainly 3.5, 4 feet would be good, and I could go down and up, and then I wouldn't have to even deal with the batteries, because I could just put the batteries elsewhere, and then, because the less weight I have on the end of my stick, giggity, the better. I want to turn it on. I know you guys are like, just turn it on, Zeos. Just turn it the fuck on. So I'll just to check the weight, I'm just gonna plug it all together. Oh. I'll tell you what, it is smooth as butter. And here's your balance. I'm pretty sure you should even turn this on without. So that slide completely out. No, it can't, because it's another motor there. Wow, that's pretty impressive that you get this sort of like adjustment range, and then there's still the wiring coming from here, which adjusts to here, which adjusts to there, which adjust. Well, that doesn't matter if it adjusts, but that's, and those are so smooth. I actually messaged a company that does gimbals, and they do one that has like a two-hand thing, and the batteries are remote, and I was hoping they'd get back to me, but they did not. You have to set this up proper. You have to set this up with weight on it, basically. So it's looking for weight, and I don't have any weight to give it. I don't know what I'm doing, and it feels bad. There's your slide there. This is a. Oh, okay. So here's how this is going. Here's the lens retainer if you have a heavy lens, and that would get attached to this, which means that that's our forward. That's backwards. There's our crazy Chinese lettering, because yeah, we're a bunch of neat veterans. That's there. This would be the lens holder here. So that's where shit's getting pointed, and then it'll all be like. Actually, there's a USB plug there. What does that do? Is that to control the camera? Or to program it to do things? Because I don't... There's one on every motor? No. There's one here in the handle. And then there's a USB micro there. Interesting, because I have no idea what it's doing. Just interesting. How far will this fall? Oh, that's going to touch. Can't go that far, I guess. Yes, this is all interesting stuff. This was under 500 bucks for this, by the way. So we'll see if I have the pole too, and I can grab it from here, and I can do low, and I can still control it Because here's a little thingy that does... You could do pans and tilts and zooms and take pictures. Oh god, I turned it on? Tell me I didn't turn it on. It's a very dim light that's coming on there. Alright, I'm not going to break this now. But yeah, that's... The future will have this whole assembly somehow placed on this. And since it'll handle a long lens, like a DSLR level lens, I should be able to put the microphones way out in front. Hopefully far enough away from the motors you don't hear them. And I'll isolate them with Zeos Magic and Lodge Magic. And oh, this is so light. And we'll see how this goes. So, this is an unboxing. And I got a case for it. And it'll probably never go back in the case. Because once I build that thing, it's mounting to this permanently. And yeah, we'll have some fun. Now that the summer's nearly over. And I definitely am going to a bunch of car shows in the winter. So there you go.